So we were trying to find the missing parts. So if we look at the first one, and if every group does this, so you start with 3 red chips, right? So put 3 red chips in the middle of your table so everyone can see it, right? And then to those 3 red chips, add 5 black ones. So how many chips do you have total in the middle? 8, right? So if you have 3 red chips, you start with those, and you add 5 black. What are you left with? 2, right? Because what's your number sentence? Not negative 2. How many red chips do you have? Negative 3 plus 5 equals 2. All right. Guys, can we get the door back there, please? Somebody? Thank you. All right, so let's go to the next one. So they want you to start with 2 red chips and 1 black. Okay? And now it says subtract 3 red. How are you going to do that? How are you going to do that? Anthony. That's subtracting 3. Think about this in a number sentence, right? All right. If I got this here, right? I got negative 2 plus 1, and then we're going to subtract 3 more from it, right? So who said add 3 red? That's what you want to do, right? So how many red do you have now? 5 with 1 black. So what's your value? If you have 5 red chips and 1 black, what do you end with? Negative 4. Very good. All right, so what about this one? You start with 6 red chips. You end with 2 red chips. What happened there? What happened there? Blake. Perfect. Yep. You added 4. I'm just going to color it in because that's the black one, right? So you added 4 black chips, right? Because that brings it up 4, right? So what's our sentence then? If we have 6 red and we add 4 black to it to get 2 red, what's our number sentence? Who can tell me? Robert. Well, we added 4. Plus 4 equals negative 2. Very good. All right, and how about the last one? So the last one, we got to figure out what we started with. We subtracted 3 reds and got 4 black. We subtracted 3 reds and got 4 black.
If you had 7 blacks, you can what?
Yeah, 7 black chips, right? If you had 7 black chips, right? That's 7, right? That's 7. So if you add in the 3 red chips, right? That is 8. 7. That gives you 4, right? All right, let's go to the last page. Part E. So we're going to kind of put this all together here. So I'm going to give you some time with your team to work on these 3. So you're going to use a chip display for each one, all right? And then basically you're going to tell me what the missing value is and then kind of write out in words what you did. All right? So let's do the first one together. If I have 3 black chips, right? So put 3 black chips in the middle. And it says we're going to subtract, put them in the middle, 3 black. Okay? Now we are subtracting what? What are we subtracting? No, we're subtracting 2 black, right? Because that's a plus. Okay. So if you have three black in the middle, put 3 black in the middle, and you take 2 away, what do you got left? You got 1, right? And it's plus 1, right? So when you write this out, you could say that you have 3 black chips, right? You remove 2 black chips. Oops. 2 black chips. So equal 1 black chip. So in other words, 3 minus 2 equals 1, right? All right, so we're going to pause and give you guys just a few minutes to work on 2 and 3 and see what you can come up with. All right, so maybe if we kind of work backwards, it may help us. So think about this. If we know what negative 4, just think of negative 4 minus 2, right? Blake, pay attention. What is negative 4 minus 2? So think of negative 4 on the number line. We're subtracting 2, so we going this way or this way? We're subtracting on a number line. Going left, right? So that would put us where? So our answer is negative 6. So now, think about this, okay? How can I show that with the chipboard where I end up with negative 6 as my answer? Lily? Okay, so, but if I have 4 red chips and 2 black chips, what is my answer? Negative 2, right? I got to come up with negative 6. Joey? Okay, but remember, it says to subtract 2 positive chips. So this is kind of a little outside the box. You would need 6 red chips with 2 black chips. Because isn't that negative 4? Isn't that negative 4? Right? And then you're going to remove the 2 black chips. Right? Because now when I remove the 2 black chips, what do we have? Negative 6. See that? All right, so think about that same idea then. How will we do number 3? Because what's negative 3 minus 5? Not 8. Negative 8. Okay? So how can we show that with the chips? Look what we did up above. How can we show that with the chips? So instead of 4 red like we had up here, we did 6 red and took away the 2 black. So what could we do for number 3? Anyone have an idea? Joey? Right. He's got it. 8 red chips with 5 black chips. And then we're going to remove what? Yeah, we're going to remove the 5 black chips, right? And when I remove those 5 black chips, we end up with negative 8. Very good. How many people prefer the number line? They like the number line visual better than the chip visual? How many people like the chip visual better? Okay, so it's kind of split. Okay. All right, now if you notice, attached to your stuff is we have the summary there. So you don't have to write this because it's out on the paper for you, but let's talk about it. And we'll go back to this. So it says number lines and chip models help make sense of addition and subtraction problems with negative numbers, right? It's a good visual to see instead of just trying to imagine it in your head. You got that visual right in front of you, all right? the models can be used in similar ways. So when you have the first number, and you're dealing with the number line, right? The first number in the problem, whether it's addition or subtraction, right? That's where we start on the number line, right? And with the chip models, that's the initial chips you're going to put on the board, right? So the second number, whether we're adding or subtracting, on a number line, tell us how far we move on the number line, right? If we're subtracting, we're going left. If we're adding, we're going right. Okay? Guys, stop playing with the chips. So adding, we're going right. Subtracting, we're going left. Okay? On the chipboard, okay, it's the number or color of chips that we add or remove from the chipboard, right? We're adding or subtracting. All right, remember, the black chips are what kind of numbers? Positive, and the red chips are negative. So if you had one pair of each, right, or if you had the same number of each colored chip, those are opposites, right? And every time you add those together, you always get 0. Whether it's 1 plus a negative 1, 3 plus a negative 3, every time you have the same number of color of chips, you're always going to get 0, right? Because they cancel each other out, right? Opposites cancel each other out to 0. All right, so your homework for tonight. And you can work on now because you got lots of time. Page 24, 49 to 54. And you literally got a half hour to work on it, which is plenty of time.